500 years ago, a disgraced diplomat from Florence was exiled, broke, and humiliated. Niccolò Machiavelli had lost everything: his reputation, his power, and his voice in society. Most people would have surrendered to bitterness. But he didn't. Instead, he picked up a pen and wrote something so radical, so uncomfortably honest, that rulers across Europe feared it and the church tried to silence it. Not because it preached evil, but because it revealed the hidden truths about human behavior, love, and desire that society refused to admit. And today, one question still lingers. What did Machiavelli understand about women and relationships that we're still too afraid to face? Why women stay or leave? The real truth about female psychology. Throughout history, across cultures and societies, one truth remains consistent. Women tend to stay in relationships that truly add value to their lives, and they leave those that do not. This behavior is not random, shallow, or unpredictable. It reflects natural human instincts. Women, like everyone else, pay attention to their surroundings and the people in their lives. They notice whether a relationship brings happiness, support, and growth, or whether it drains them, limits them, or creates stress. When we talk about adding value, it isn't always about money or material comfort. True enrichment often comes in emotional, intellectual, and psychological forms. For instance, women feel fulfilled when there is a strong emotional connection with their partner, a bond where they feel understood, appreciated, and cared for. Emotional support is one of the foundations of lasting love because it creates a sense of safety and belonging. Safety and stability are also crucial. This does not mean a life without problems, but it does mean that a partner's presence provides reliability. Women instinctively look for someone who is responsible, committed, and able to handle life's challenges without creating chaos. When a relationship feels secure, it allows both partners to trust each other, build long-term plans, and deepen emotional intimacy. Stability is not boring. It is the backbone of a healthy and lasting partnership. Intellectual connection is another key factor. Women often desire partners who challenge them mentally, share ideas, encourage curiosity, and stimulate growth. A relationship that inspires learning, creativity, and thoughtful conversation feels more meaningful than one based solely on attraction. Shared goals, ambitions, and curiosity strengthen the bond and create a sense of purpose within the partnership. Passion and sexual compatibility are equally important. A relationship without desire or physical chemistry often loses intensity over time. Passion is not only about short-term excitement, it reflects mutual attraction, emotional closeness, and active engagement with one another's needs. Couples who maintain sexual intimacy often feel more connected and satisfied, which fuels both emotional and physical closeness. Mutual respect and shared ambition also play a major role. Women notice whether their partner supports their independence, encourages their goals, and treats them as equals. A healthy relationship is one where both people grow individually while also helping each other achieve their dreams. Respect prevents resentment, encourages cooperation, and allows love to flourish naturally. Many men misinterpret a woman's withdrawal as sudden, unfair, or emotionally unpredictable. However, according to insights from thinkers like Machiavelli, this reaction is rarely impulsive. It is usually a response to a shift in the relationship's balance, what it gives versus what it takes. Love is not a one-time promise. It is a living, evolving connection that requires attention, effort, and care. When a relationship stops providing value or support, stepping back is a rational, natural choice, not a whim. This understanding is essential for anyone in a relationship. Women are not hard to read or unpredictable. They are observant, aware, and responsive to the dynamics around them. Every relationship involves give and take, and when the balance tips, whether emotionally, intellectually, or practically, women instinctively reassess their involvement. Understanding this does not make relationships cold or transactional. It makes them realistic. It highlights the importance of consistent effort, empathy, and mutual contribution. Love cannot survive on promises alone or be taken for granted. Relationships thrive when both partners actively nurture the value they bring to each other's lives. In short, women stay where they feel emotionally supported, intellectually stimulated, and genuinely valued. They leave when the relationship no longer brings meaning, security, or satisfaction. Recognizing this truth allows men to see relationships clearly, respond wisely, and build connections that are strong, lasting, and deeply fulfilling. Desire is a choice, not chance. Today, most people talk about love as if it's some kind of magical force. They say love is destiny, chemistry, or something that just happens between two people. Society, movies, and social media often reinforce the idea that love is unpredictable, something you can't plan for or fully understand. We are taught to believe that if two people are meant for each other, attraction will naturally appear. Niccolò Machiavelli, the famous Florentine thinker, would have strongly disagreed. He believed desire and attraction are not random or accidental. To him, feelings like love and passion are purposeful. They have reasons and follow certain patterns. Desire is connected to reality, to practical needs, and to the costs and rewards of choosing a partner. Machiavelli understood that people are practical by nature even when they feel emotional. Deep down, humans are always asking themselves, will this person make my life better? Will being with them bring safety, happiness, or respect? These calculations may happen unconsciously, but they are always present. Love is not just a fantasy, it is influenced by real-life considerations. For women, these decisions have often been far more important than for men. In history, women's survival, reputation, and social standing depended heavily on choosing the right partner. Many women had limited power, resources, or protection. One wrong choice could bring social shame, financial trouble, or even danger. Because of this, women developed a sharp ability to assess people. They learned to look past charm, beauty, or clever words to judge whether someone could provide long-term security and respect. This careful evaluation is not manipulation. It is intelligence and self-preservation. Machiavelli recognized that women's attraction is shaped by these practical considerations. While passion and desire exist, they are filtered through a constant evaluation. Does this person improve my life? Can I trust them? Will this relationship keep me safe and respected? From this perspective, desire is never random. Attraction grows where conditions are safe and rewarding, and it fades when conditions are insecure or unsatisfying. A man's looks or charm alone cannot sustain interest. Emotional connection, respect, stability, and shared values are what truly make desire last. This explains why relationships that seem perfect at first can fail over time. The initial excitement, or spark, fades, and women, like all people, begin assessing the real value of the relationship. Machiavelli emphasized that love must be earned and maintained. It is not automatic or guaranteed. Lasting relationships require consistent effort, understanding, and mutual benefit. Think of it this way. If a woman chooses a partner without considering her safety, future, or well-being, she may fall for someone attractive or charming at first. But if that person cannot provide emotional security, respect, or stability, her attraction will gradually disappear. Desire is closely tied to practical outcomes. People want relationships that make their lives better, not just temporarily enjoyable. Machiavelli's insight was revolutionary because it exposed a truth many people ignore. Love and attraction are connected to self-interest. This does not mean women are selfish. It means they are rational. They are protecting themselves, their future, and their emotional well-being. Every feeling, every attraction, and every choice has a practical purpose. In essence, desire is strategic. It responds to the environment, circumstances, and potential rewards or risks in a relationship. Machiavelli would say that if you want lasting love, you must understand the real rules of attraction. You need to offer value, security, and consistency. You cannot rely on charm or temporary passion alone. Strong, enduring relationships are built on trust, emotional investment, and real benefits, not just fantasy or chance. Understanding this truth changes how we see love. Desire is not random. It is careful, thoughtful, and deeply practical. By respecting these principles, anyone can build relationships that last, rather than leaving love to fate or luck. Machiavelli's truth about human nature and women. Niccolò Machiavelli didn't write about people in the way society wanted to imagine them. He didn't tell stories about perfect love, noble actions, or flawless heroes. Instead, he observed how people actually behave in real life. He looked beyond appearances and illusions, and he wrote down the truths most people were too afraid to admit. While many thinkers of his era praised honor, virtue, and romantic ideals, Machiavelli noticed a very different reality. People are not always guided by what is right, or good, or beautiful. Instead, they are guided by circumstances, personal gain, and survival. He observed patterns that repeat themselves across generations, patterns that remain surprisingly consistent even today. For example, love and affection are not permanent. Someone may seem devoted and loving today, but when situations change, feelings can shift. Loyalty is rarely unlimited. It often lasts only as long as it benefits a person. And betrayal is not random. It usually appears when fear, danger, or insecurity arises. These ideas may feel uncomfortable, but they reflect reality. Machiavelli didn't label people as good or evil for this. He simply recorded the truth. He believed that all humans, regardless of gender or status, are motivated by incentives, rewards, and survival. Everyone decides whether an action helps their life, safety, or happiness. Women were no exception, even though society often treated them differently. In Machiavelli's time, and even today, society tends to portray women as emotional, selfless, and guided only by love. They are often described as nurturing, moral, or devoted. Machiavelli saw through this illusion. He understood that women, just like men, make choices based on careful evaluation. They think about whether a person or relationship benefits them, protects their well-being, and secures their future. Women assess whether staying in a relationship makes their lives better or worse. Recognizing this changes how we see relationships. Love and partnership are not magical or fairy tale ideals. They are practical arrangements, spoken or unspoken agreements, where both people evaluate whether the connection serves their lives. This is not cynicism, it is realism. Relationships work best when both people benefit, feel secure, respected, and valued. Machiavelli's insight was revolutionary because it challenged comforting illusions. He showed society that women are fully human, intelligent, aware, and strategic in their choices. Women do not act randomly in love or loyalty. Their actions are influenced by context, calculation, and awareness of their own needs. Understanding this turns relationships from fairy tales into real negotiations of needs, emotions, and mutual advantage. In short, Machiavelli teaches us that love, loyalty, and connection are not automatic. They must be earned, protected, and nurtured. Women, like all humans, act according to reality, not illusion. To succeed in relationships, we must stop expecting perfection or selflessness. Instead, we should study patterns, respect each other's needs, and create connections based on trust, understanding, and mutual benefit. Why self-interest is the key to lasting relationships. One of the most important lessons from Machiavelli is simple but often ignored. People stay loyal only as long as the relationship benefits them. This isn't cruelty or selfishness, it's an honest look at human behavior. Loyalty, love, and care are not endless. They are based on what we give and what we get in return. When the balance shifts or the benefits fade, loyalty naturally declines. Think about the relationships in your life. How often have you noticed that when someone loses their job, their romantic relationship starts to struggle? Or when illness strikes, love suddenly feels less certain. Perhaps moving to a new city, pursuing a big career goal, or facing unexpected hardships caused a rift between people who once seemed inseparable. Usually, it isn't that anyone stopped caring. It's that the emotional or practical support that once held the connection changed. Machiavelli would say this is human nature, not betrayal. It's not just about romantic relationships. Friendships follow the same pattern. How often have you seen friends drift apart when convenience disappears? When people no longer live nearby, work together, or share the same routines, relationships can fade. Again, it isn't necessarily personal failure or malice. People naturally consider the practical value of relationships. Connections are like living things. They need effort and mutual benefit to survive. Society, however, often romanticizes certain behaviors, especially for women. Selflessness, sacrifice, and unwavering loyalty are praised as virtues, while self-interest is criticized. Women are often told to love unconditionally, forgive endlessly, and put others first. Men, on the other hand, are usually excused for prioritizing their own needs. This double standard makes self-interest appear wrong for women while acceptable for men. Machiavelli saw through this hypocrisy. He believed that protecting your emotional, physical, and financial well-being is a sign of intelligence and strength, not a weakness. A woman who sets boundaries, evaluates her relationship, and refuses to sacrifice her happiness for someone else is being rational. She is not manipulative or cold, she is realistic. She makes choices based on long-term security and self-respect, not on illusions of unconditional devotion. Any relationship that demands constant self-sacrifice without reciprocity is not love. It is dependency disguised as love. When one partner gives more than they receive, when their needs are ignored, the relationship becomes unbalanced and unsustainable. Machiavelli would say that expecting endless sacrifice is unrealistic. It ignores how humans actually behave and sets both partners up for frustration and disappointment. Understanding this doesn't make you cynical, it makes you aware and prepared. It doesn't mean love or loyalty is impossible. It means that both are conditional, based on reality, and require mutual benefit. The relationships that last are those where both partners feel supported, respected, and valued. When these conditions disappear, human nature takes over and loyalty fades. This explains why so many relationships fail, not because love disappears overnight, but because the practical foundations underneath, support, respect, care, and balance, erode over time. Machiavelli would warn that believing in unconditional loyalty is dangerous. Thinking someone will stay committed no matter what is not wisdom. It is fantasy. Recognizing self-interest gives you a deeper understanding of human behavior. You begin to see that loyalty is a response to value, not a moral duty. Protecting yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. Expecting others to always prioritize your needs while ignoring their own is a recipe for disappointment. The strongest people in relationships balance caring for others with caring for themselves. They invest in their partner's happiness but also safeguard their own well-being. They know love grows where respect, reciprocity, and mutual benefit exist. Machiavelli's lesson is clear. Loyalty and affection exist where there is balance, and they vanish where there isn't. In short, self-interest is not the enemy of love. It is one of its most important building blocks. Without it, relationships cannot last, and neither partner can truly thrive. Embracing this reality allows us to move beyond naive ideals and enter a world where love, loyalty, and trust are not illusions. They are choices built on understanding, respect, and balance. What women truly crave in a relationship? If we remove all the romantic myths, fairy tale endings, Instagram perfect love stories, and the unrealistic expectations society teaches, there's one simple truth: women want security. And this doesn't just mean money or material wealth. Security is deeper. It's about feeling safe, valued, and protected in every part of life, emotionally, mentally, and within the relationship itself. Women want to know they can rely on their partner, that they won't be hurt, abandoned, or manipulated when life gets tough. This sense of safety is what turns a relationship from temporary to lasting, from casual to meaningful. Emotional safety. The first layer of what women want is emotional security. They want to feel truly understood. They want their feelings, thoughts, and experiences to matter. Women crave partners who listen, empathize, and support them through life's ups and downs. They don't want to be judged, controlled, or forced into someone they're not. Emotional safety allows trust to grow, giving a woman the freedom to open up and invest fully in the relationship without fear. Mental and psychological safety. Next comes psychological security. Women want to feel safe in their minds and hearts. They want assurance that their choices, boundaries, and feelings won't be mocked, criticized, or ignored. A woman who feels mentally safe can think clearly, make confident decisions, and be her true self. Without this, stress and doubt begin to creep in, gradually weakening love and connection. Stability in the relationship. Relational security is equally important. Women want loyalty, trust, and commitment that won't be broken. They want a partner who stands by them when challenges arise instead of walking away. They want a relationship that feels like a partnership, not a game, competition, or constant source of uncertainty. Women invest their love deeply, and they want to be sure that investment is respected and valued. Respect and equality. Security also means being respected. Women want their opinions, goals, and boundaries honored. They want a partner who sees them as equals, not someone to control or dominate. Respect is the foundation of intimacy. It allows love, passion, and emotional connection to flourish naturally. Without respect, attraction fades, resentment grows, and the relationship loses its spark. Consistency and reliability. Security also comes from stability in commitment. Women want to know that their partner can handle life's pressures without backing down. Every relationship faces tests, problems, conflicts, and unexpected challenges. A woman feels secure when she knows her partner can share responsibilities, face difficulties together, and continue nurturing the relationship through thick and thin. This doesn't mean life will always be perfect, but it does mean love is grounded in trust and reliability. Why security matters. Without security, love struggles. Passion fades, emotional closeness weakens, and even strong feelings can vanish when fear and uncertainty take over. But when security is present, something remarkable happens. Love becomes steady, intimacy grows deeper, and commitment strengthens. Passion isn't fleeting, it becomes enduring, a bond that grows stronger with time. In short, women don't seek perfection, endless romance, or wealth above all else. They want a foundation they can trust. They want a partner who protects their heart and mind, shares responsibility for the relationship, and builds a space where love can thrive. Providing this kind of security transforms love. It makes it real, lasting, and meaningful. Hundreds of years ago, Machiavelli observed this truth, and today, psychology confirms it. Relationships flourish when safety, trust, and stability are at their core. Without security, love is fragile. With it, love thrives. Machiavelli never said love is impossible. What he warned is that love only lasts when it respects human nature. People, especially women, stay loyal when a relationship gives them meaning, security, and happiness. Take those away, and even the deepest feelings can fade. This is not a lesson in cynicism, it's a lesson in preparation. Seeing love this way helps you understand it as a two-way responsibility, not something that magically appears or lasts forever without effort. For love that lasts, stop chasing unrealistic fantasies about romance. Stop expecting blind loyalty without earning it. Focus on creating safety and stability in yourself, your life, and your relationship. Machiavelli's insight from 500 years ago is still true today. Everyone, including women, values a relationship where their identity, future, and well-being feel secure. The key is simple: be someone worth choosing. When you offer stability, trust, and respect, love doesn't need to be forced. It grows naturally. If you want lasting love, build trust and security in your relationship first. Comment below and share your ways of keeping your partner feeling safe and valued.